The air burns with the heat of spotlights. 100 camera shutters open and close like tiny mouths, devouring every breath I take. Each flash stains the back of my eyelids white, and still I keep smiling. The perfect Omega idol, sweet, tame, harmless. They call me the nation's sweetheart, which is funny since most days I barely like myself. The sound of my own voice, calm and detached, echoes in my head as if from another lifetime. My hand lifts on cue, fingers flicking in a gentle wave. The motion looks natural. It's been rehearsed for years. There's nothing natural about being prey under lights. Being an Omega celebrity is easy. Smile. Pretend the cameras don't smell your fear. The red carpet gleams like fresh blood beneath my polished shoes. Fans scream my name, their scents a blur of sugar and metal, excitement and adoration. But under it, always under it, is the pulse of something hungrier. A few alphas in the press line lean closer than necessary, their gazes sliding across my skin like invisible hands. My bodyguards move instantly, a practiced wall of black suits and calm violence between me and the world. I keep smiling. My jaw aches. When one of the photographers calls, "Eli, over here!" I turn my head slightly, giving them the angle they want. Soft profile, half a smile, eyes that look like they're in love with the lens. Inside, my heartbeat stumbles. For a moment, I imagine what it would feel like to breathe without pretending, to stop smelling the faint ripple of alpha pheromones across every crowd. But that's not part of the act. I move forward when my manager tugs at my arm, his whisper sharp against my ear. "Keep it up, Eli. Just 5 more steps." 5 more steps. That's all I ever take, between exhaustion and collapse. A fan reaches too far across the barrier, fingers brushing my wrist. I flinch before I can stop myself. One of the guards immediately shifts, eyes dark and warning. The crowd roars louder, mistaking it for excitement. I laugh under my breath, the sound thin. Yeah, I mutter just loud enough for myself, lips curving in a ghost of a smirk. I love you too, from a legally safe distance. The cameras catch the smile. They always do. Then, the doors of the black van open and I step inside. The cheers vanish the moment they shut behind me. The silence is almost violent. In the reflection of the tinted window, the boy on the red carpet disappears. Only I remain, breathing hard, the echo of light still burning behind my eyes. And in that fleeting quiet, before the next flash, I realize again how much I hate the sound of my own name. The city below hums like a restless heart. The door shuts with a soft click, sealing in the silence. Outside, the city lights blur against the glass, a million tiny eyes that never blink. Inside, everything smells too clean, too expensive, too empty. I tug off the suit jacket, toss it somewhere near the couch, and let the mask fall with it. The ache in my shoulders feels bone deep. Fame doesn't just weigh, it bruises. The phone lights up before I can breathe. Headlines spill across the screen in neat, poisonous letters. Eli seen leaving after party with Alpha Air. Who's the secret sponsor behind the sweetheart? Omega Idol's late night visit. Love or business? I swipe, scroll again, until the words blur together. Apparently, I mutter, voice dry as static, I'm dating 3 men, a model, and a car brand. Great. The glass of water I pour trembles just slightly in my grip. I take a sip, let it wash the taste of the night off my tongue. Still bitter. My reflection in the window stares back, hair perfect, jaw sharp, eyes hollow. All shine, no pulse. I rub the back of my neck, feeling the tension knot under my skin. My glands ache faintly. The pheromone suppressants don't always hold after long hours under the lights. My scent flickers sharp for a moment, clean citrus turning a shade too sharp, like something trying to defend itself. A knock at the adjoining door. One of the bodyguards steps in halfway, voice low and firm. "Don't open the door for anyone, Mr. Eli. We're checking the hall after that fan incident." I nod, lifting my eyes just long enough to acknowledge him. "Got it." He hesitates. "Lock it from inside, sir." "Sure. What's next?" I say, letting my tone drip just enough sarcasm to hide the fatigue. They'll guard me while I brush my teeth? The guard's mouth twitches, not quite a smile. Wouldn't be the strangest request. He leaves. The latch clicks again. I exhale into the empty room. The air conditioner hums. My pulse doesn't slow. Even with 4 walls, 10 locks, and 20 cameras downstairs, I can still feel the city pressing close. The scent of too many alphas still clings to my memory. The press line, the crowd, the way one hand reached just a little too far. I press my fingers against the pulse at my throat, still steady. For now. But underneath, something restless stirs. The faint prickle of unease I've learned never to ignore. The clock on the wall ticks louder than it should. Most of my guards have stepped out to handle some commotion downstairs. Something about a fan argument near the lobby. I told them I'd be fine. Famous last words. The room feels too still. I scroll through my phone, half distracted, half tired, eyes blurry from headlines I don't even care about anymore. Then, a knock, not the polite kind. 3 sharp raps, spaced evenly. Confident. I drag in a breath, tilt my head. Room service again? I mutter, voice dry as sandpaper. I didn't even order existential dread tonight. No answer. The silence after feels heavy. I pad to the door barefoot, adjusting the loose shirt slipping off my shoulder. The peephole shows nothing but hallway light and shadows. Maybe security sent someone? I crack it open, just a little. 2 men stand there, unfamiliar, both alpha, dressed in clean, casual suits, their scents sharp and sweet, expensive cologne trying to cover the musk underneath. Their smiles don't reach their eyes. My stomach knots. Instinct flickers, fast and cold. You've got the wrong room, I say flatly, ready to slam the door. The taller one tilts his head, that too easy grin widening. We don't think so, sweetheart. The word slides under my skin like a splinter. Before I can react, a shoulder hits the door. Wood shudders. My balance snaps. The door flies open, slamming against the wall. I stumble backward, nearly tripping on the edge of the rug. Air shifts, thick with the metallic tang of alpha pheromones, sweet and predatory. My throat tightens. Every nerve screams wrong. Cute place, one of them drawls, stepping inside as if he owns it. The other's eyes trace over me in a way that makes my pulse spike. I reach for my phone, but my hand shakes. Don't bother, the second one says softly. We just want to talk. Yeah, right. My own scent flares in defense, sharp citrus burning through the air, laced with stress. The pheromone inhibitors can't keep up. I take 1 step back, forcing a smirk I don't feel. Well, I say, voice barely steady. If this is about sponsorship deals, I'm really bad at small talk. Their laughter is low, humorless. The air gets smaller. And for the first time tonight, I realize how quiet the suite is without my guards outside. The taller alpha kicks the door shut behind him. The sound echoes, final, sharp, like a lock clicking on a cage. One leans against the exit, casual, arms folded. The other takes a slow step toward me, savoring the distance between predator and cornered thing. The air thickens. I can feel it. Pheromones bleeding into the room, dark and heady, spiced with dominance and heat. My breath catches. Instinct claws at the back of my throat. Every omega nerve in my body flares, screaming danger, danger. Don't, I manage, voice low but shaking. You're insane! Get out! They don't even blink. The nearest one smiles, the kind of smile people wear before they break something. I lunge for the wall panel, the emergency alert glowing faintly red. But my wrist trembles. The sensor won't read my shaking hand. Come on. The air burns now, thick with clashing scents. Alpha spice and my own citrus-sharp panic leaking uncontrolled. I can smell myself losing control. Sweet, dizzy, humiliating. My vision swims at the edges, lights blurring into color. My heartbeat thunders too loud in my ears. Every breath I drag in feels heavy with someone else's claim. Damn it. Not now. I stumble back until my spine hits cold glass. The city glows faintly beyond, blurred by my reflection. Wide eyes, sweat, trembling mouth. The first alpha laughs, low. The second one licks his lips, stepping closer, the musk of dominance crashing over me. Relax, he says, voice thick with pheromones. We just want a taste. My stomach twists. The world tilts. I press a hand against the glass just to stay upright, nails scraping faintly. My breath comes in shallow bursts, and the sound is small, too small for the room. Touch me, I rasp, more to stall than to invite, and you'll be in the news for all the wrong reasons. The one near the wall laughs again. You think anyone will believe you, sweetheart? You smell like you want it. The door explodes inward, wood splintering like glass under pressure. A shape cuts through the haze, tall, broad-shouldered, dressed in black. Not rushing, not panicked. Just moving with the precision of someone who doesn't need to hurry to dominate a room. His scent hits first, cold metal and rain-soaked pine, and every other alpha freezes. Before I can blink, his hand fists in one attacker S-collar and slams him into the wall so hard the plaster cracks. The man wheezes, sliding down with a choked groan. The second alpha lunges, a snarl half-formed. But the stranger turns, blocks, and drives an elbow into his gut, then a short, merciless punch to the jaw. He doesn't roar, doesn't curse. His movements are clean, controlled, almost quiet. The silence of a man who doesn't need noise to terrify. Touch him again, he says, voice low, almost bored, and you'll never lift your hand. That's all. No shouting, no threat needed. Just truth wrapped in authority. The two attackers stagger toward the door, one limping, the other clutching his face, too afraid to look back. Then they're gone, the door hanging crooked, the suite reeking of pheromones and fear. My knees almost give out. The air still burns, thick and sweet and poisonous. I manage to rasp, "Who the hell?" But the words slur. My voice sounds far away, muffled by the blood pounding in my ears. He glances at me finally, sharp eyes cutting through the haze. No softness, no smile. Just an unreadable calm that feels heavier than anger. You need to breathe, he says quietly. The room's saturated. He strides to the window, shoves it open. Cold night air rushes in, slicing through the heavy heat. I try to take a breath, but my lungs don't obey. The floor tilts, my body too light, too slow. Before I can hit the ground, strong hands catch me. The world narrows, his chest, solid beneath my cheek, the steady rhythm of his heart under the faint scent of smoke and pine. He smells nothing like the others. He smells like control. My lashes flutter. The lights fade to gray. The last thing I see before the dark closes in is his face, still expressionless, but for the faintest flicker of something dangerous. Concern. Then nothing. The first thing I feel is the needle in my arm. The second, the ache behind my eyes, dull and heavy like the hangover from fear. Sterile air, the faint hum of machines. I blink, disoriented. White ceiling, white sheets, white walls. So this is what safety looks like. Colorless. The door bursts open. Eli! My manager's voice cracked with panic, half relief and half anger. Behind him, two of my bodyguards crowded in, faces drawn and guilty. You scared the hell out of us, one of them blurted. I squinted against the light, throat dry. My voice came out rough, lazy. If this is heaven, I muttered, it's disappointingly fluorescent. My manager exhaled hard, pressing a hand to his chest as if trying to calm his heartbeat. You were out cold for 10 hours, he said. The doctor said your pheromone levels spiked dangerously. You could have... Yeah, I cut in, rubbing my temple with slow, tired fingers. Exploded into glitter, I know. He didn't laugh. None of them did. Even my sarcasm fell flat in the sterile air. Finally, one of the bodyguards stepped forward, shifting awkwardly. Sir, about last night, he began cautiously. We checked the cameras. I looked up, my gaze heavy. And? I asked. Someone got to your room before we did, he said. A man. An alpha. I stilled, pulse quickening just slightly. Go on, I said quietly. He handled the intruders. Alone. Then carried you out and left you in the hall before security arrived, he explained. I blinked slowly. The words hit like cold water. He didn't leave a name? I asked. No, sir, he replied. Just walked out before the police came. No trace. I leaned back into the pillows, lips twitching into a humorless smile. Of course, I said under my breath. My life's a reality show without consent. The manager sighed, pinching the bridge of his nose. We should increase your security, he suggested. Maybe cancel public events until... I waved him off, eyes fixed blankly on the ceiling. Find him, I said flatly. He frowned. Find who? The alpha, I replied, voice quieter now, too calm to be casual. Anyone who walks into a room like that doesn't just disappear. Silence settled between us. Even the machine seemed to pause. After a beat, I added under my breath, more to myself than to anyone else. People don't save others without wanting something in return. The monitor beside me kept beeping in steady rhythm, too peaceful for the unease crawling beneath my skin. Outside, the sunlight glared off the glass, bright, blinding, and empty. The city never sleeps. It just hides its noise beneath the rain. A black sedan idled across the street, its engine a low, steady hum against the weather. The man leaning against its hood didn't move. The drizzle soaked through his coat, clinging to dark fabric dripping from his jawline. He didn't care. His eyes stayed fixed on the hospital's glowing windows, a box of fragile light in the washed-out morning. Somewhere inside that building, the Omega was breathing again, alive, safe. The thought should have been enough. It wasn't. He took a slow drag from the cigarette between his fingers, the ember flaring briefly before the rain began to kill it. Smoke curled from his lips, a whisper against the cold air. Next time, he muttered, voice low and rough. Don't open the damn door, idiot. His tone wasn't cruel, just quiet, edged with something unspoken. Something that didn't belong in a stranger's concern. He flicked the half-burned cigarette into a puddle. The light hissed out. For a moment he stood there, tall, still, expression unreadable, then turned away, sliding into the driver's seat. The car pulled from the curb and disappeared into the city rain, headlights cutting through the fog. Only the echo of the engine remained, and the faintest scent of smoke fading like a secret.